invited him to the game as their guest today. He's a Connecticut resident. It was his first NFL game last week, so now he's been to two.
Good to see you. I'll tell you, what you did was so classy, and you represent what our whole franchise is about, building bridges. Yeah, but that's got your
got my name on it.
Name and yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, maybe.
He invited him to the game as their guest.
Whew, made me cry because he took the high road. He got rewarded for it. That's nice. I'm sure that's not why he did it. But it just moved me because I think I cried for the fact that he was abused that way, like that is not right of anybody to act this way. I don't like it. I don't like it for other people, and I don't like it for myself. And I have acted that way in the name of defending myself, I guess. And that I'm sure that that's what she felt like she's doing, right? Like she has some wound to defend, and he must have activated it in her. And now she's like acting whatever age she was when she got that wound. And I've just been contemplating this thing about the video I made the other day where I mentioned that I'm reprioritizing my place in war. And I thought I had it good, but then I thought I had it all figured out, and then I did my meditation and I cleared all the stuff that had already happened. But then what I started to see was things like I actually, when one of the people who I was trying to break these people apart from screaming at each other, one of the people turned on me, and I just defended myself, and I just threw it right back at them. And so I feel like that is an activation. I did get activated in wanting to defend myself. And also, I saw that just my want initially to start the healing process, as if it was my job, as if I had the authority to do so. Maybe that's a problem with me. And so I've just been picking myself apart a little bit on this topic, and it doesn't feel very good, because I've been flashed to other instances where I spoke to people in ways where it was just authoritative, and maybe even how I talk about the topics that I discuss, that it's got a very authoritative tone, when I'm telling people take responsibility for themselves, and it's yes, people have a choice to click on these videos. Not a lot of people are clicking on these videos, so maybe this isn't my energy. Maybe this is something that I still have to deal with, because maybe when I was younger, I know that my kids had said it to me, and my kids have actually said that I changed after they told me. Which is a nice thing to hear, right? When my kids can recognize that I'm trying to be a better person for them, and that I'm succeeding. It feels really good. But maybe I didn't solve the issue to the core, because maybe I just adopted an adaptive behavior. And the core issue that they were pointing at was that, my know-it-allness, my want to solve all the issues, and perhaps I just have an abrasive way of doing so, because I'm covering up all this hurt kind of place, and I don't want to be vulnerable. And it's true, I hate being vulnerable, and also I another pointer to that for me was when I clicked on a little reading on Instagram, and it said that a female would be coming into my life to be a friend, and I was just like, nope. And it was a feeling within me that was just like, nope, nope, nope. Like I didn't want this friend that was being referenced. And I think it's because I just maybe have focused a lot on healing the relationship issues that I had with men in my life, but maybe haven't focused a lot on healing the relationship with the women in my life. And that's something that I have to work on, because that is probably what's making me step into the more masculine energy, to be more authoritative, because that is the illusion is that could trump masculine or female energy, right? Like this guy won, right? Like he just stood strong and didn't react to her over emotional display. And women are in my experience, the ones who are mostly prone to this over emotional display. And to be honest, most of the men reacting violently have been in response to women acting the way this woman was acting, or the way that I myself have acted in the past. And maybe all I've done is just removed myself from those situations. And I don't like a lot of women. It's true. I have to admit that. And it's because I don't trust them, because of the cattiness, the gossipness, I don't like shallowness. I don't, and it's not true. It can't be true that I don't like women, because I have women in my life that I love and like, and who I respect, and who respect me. So I know that it's not across the board. I just know that it's like, I've uncovered this layer of myself in that I might be relating defensively due to pain of being treated unfairly by women in my life. And I'm not saying I'm a victim, because of that. I know I'm not a victim, and maybe that's why I jumped into that authoritative space, so that I didn't have to feel like a victim. So maybe I have to let myself feel like a victim first, right? So there have been some fucking nasty bitches in my life, and I think it was easier to gloss over. It was easier to just step up to the high road, like this guy. So he stepped up to the high road. He's being rewarded for it. Awesome. But let's face it, there is a reason why he is the one in this crowd that is getting this treatment from this woman. There is a reason. He is a product of his own energy. His world is unfolding to match the energy he holds. So he has to be holding an energy that allows that into his reality, So he's stepping up into this calm, beautiful place, which I'm so thankful for, by the way, because it didn't escalate because of that. But at the same time, he would always have to be that strong force in the face of this if he doesn't alleviate whatever internal energy is in there that could make him a match to this experience, even if it's just on this level of being the de-escalator. And that's where I was, right? I was in this situation where I had to be the de-escalator, but I was still a match to that situation of these two people doing this in my life, with me there. So it still indicates to me that I still have the energy in me that would make me a match to an experience like that. And that is likely just my way of having stepped into a defensive posture as a way to relate. And it's not welcoming, and it's not it's not welcoming, right? Like, it's not welcoming. It's just not welcoming. It's going to rub people wrong. They're not going to feel safe. They're going to feel too intimidated. And I always looked at that too, and I didn't like it when people said I was intimidating. And I didn't like it when people thought I was tough, like, because I didn't feel that way at all. I've never felt that way. I've never wanted to feel intimidating. I've never liked it when I heard that. It always hurt. And I think that that's a direct correlation to the wound that has been revealed in me now, that I could never really find before. That there is something intimidating about my posture, about the way that I posture myself in a situation where I'm relating to another, and that is as an authority, right? Like, I know that I have spiritual knowledge that is high, right? Like that trumps the lower density stuff that a lot of people are doing. So maybe I've used that to position myself as this authority in my own mind so that I could feel safe enough to deal with them on that level, but never really allowing myself to deal with people as an equal. Which feels terrible. It feels so terrible to, like, think about and but I can totally see it. I can see it as I own it. I can see different scenarios where it's played out. Like one time I had a client who just didn't want to do the work. And I was just like wondering, like, why did I end up with this client who doesn't want to do the work? It's like paying good money to get all this wisdom that I'm sharing with you. And no matter what I do, no matter what I share with you, you are not open to using these tools. And that's all fine, right? But I didn't react badly or strongly to this client, but these were my internal thoughts. And what I'm realizing is, like, that actually the way I felt about that client doing that is showing me that I did have this, like, sense of authority. And it was like my authority was not being honored in that situation. And so even though it all happened internally, this client would have never known that I was having these thoughts or feelings, because I remained professional and soft to them and receptive to, their unwillingness, But perhaps now I'm realizing that that client was more responding to me with their issue that they have with authority. They have an issue with authority, and I was being an authority without really without doing it on the surface. Yeah, because when I'm in a session, I'm asking questions. I'm letting them take the lead, and I'm never discrediting their view. So as far as, like, how the session goes, they take the lead, but really I'm kind of leading from the back is what I'm realizing now. So interesting. And even, with a reading, when I'll do a reading, you can see that I step into a different way of speaking, which is authoritative, which is like, this is the way it is. And I can see that in the contrast of me and my life coach, because my life coach is much more softer, feminine, and gentle in the way she approaches me. And I've appreciated it and noticed that it's different from my way. And I use a lot of extra words to be able to present my information in a way that seems like I'm trying to be gentle. And if she had ever pointed out to me that I was being authoritative, I would have dealt with it. But she never got triggered by that, because maybe she doesn't have that wound or whatever. And it was just something that I had to come to on myself. There's just only certain people that can activate it in me or make me see myself as a contrast. But, like, she helped, as she's an example of someone who doesn't do that. And I got to see that up close and how that functions and how that feels. When she deals with me, it feels nice, like respectful. You know, she's respectful of whatever my view is. Her view is not as important in our sessions as my view. She's dealing with me on my view, which is what I said I was doing with my client. But I did have like this knowing in the back of my mind that if this person has that view and they won't consider this point of view, I don't know how they're going to heal. Which it's, you know, everyone has a different pathway to healing sometimes. So it's got to be allowed. And it, you know, it's just so, I feel disappointed, a little, you know, somewhat deflated, and also thankful, you know, that I've become aware of this in myself. And, you know, I don't think I've gone around being a tyrant, but just to realize the reason why I seem unapproachable to people, and that it's taken me this long to catch on. You know, I know it can't be fully true all the time. It's just that this wound is up to heal now, I guess, because, like, I met somebody, a stranger, in the store the other day, and she asked for my card, and she booked us a home party the next day, you know, for 8 people to do readings at their home. And, you know, so I wasn't being in that, I mean, whatever, she was able to get past it. So, like, I know it's not, it's just something that is there. I can feel that it's there. And I'm so glad that she could see past it, or that I wasn't in that posture in that moment. That I interacted with her, but, like, I do, maybe it only comes out in certain situations. Maybe I'm feeling more defensive in certain situations. Like, she's got a ladies' night planned, you know, where I'm going to be with 8 women. So, like, if I actually think it might be a really good opportunity to see these women. She's obviously got a good, healthy amount of women in her life, like a lot of women who are getting together, you know, and planning it a month ahead of time. So I think it'll be good for me to be around a group of women who are relating, and to just kind of see what that feels like, and know better. Because I have not been able to maintain close relationships with women over my experiences. And I do know that that directly correlates with, you know, learning from my mom's ways, and then, like, seeing her and her and her sisters, and, like, how it all works. It's there's been some kinks in the road to iron out, you know, with full respect for my mother, you know, not trying to throw her under the bus here, but obviously I would have learned these things from something. And I think not all of it is her either. It's like, maybe I didn't have an example of how to navigate difficult relationships with women, because it's been friendships as well. Like, my best friend of, you know, many years betrayed me pretty harshly. Another girl that I trusted and loved very much, and was my roommate at a time, she slept with my boyfriend. So other women have been gossipy and catty, and you know, just, and lots of women saying let's get together, but then never following through to get together. You know, it just makes me, like, it made me, like, dismiss that whole, I just don't like surfacey levels bullshit. And then, like, even my longest, closest person in my life, who's a female, actually, you know, I just had to reposition her in my mind, because I realized, you know, even though I consider her, like, my best friend, she has a different best friend, you know. And to me, it was just like, you know, I think I gotta really, like, look at this within myself. So I think this has been unfolding for me a little bit over time. And yeah, so if you've noticed that I've been a bit authoritative with my approach, sometimes I I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to see what I can do to be more gentle. But I don't, like, it will just be fake if I just be, if I put the effort towards it. So I've got to uncover the place in me, and I'm not really sure how to do that, how to heal that without finding other people that I can be vulnerable with and that it feels right. Like I'm kind of at this place where I kind of need to like interact with other people and see myself in that place of vulnerability and how that feels and looks and tastes and functions. So God gives us what we need, and this is what I needed. So sending love out to both of these parties, I'm really so thankful that this man on the screen here took the high road, and I also have compassion for the other party as well, who was obviously going through some sort of trigger. So may they both find peace throughout their experiences to come.